Good morning, dear class 10 students. Dear students, let us continue the first chapter civics, the Union Parliament. And today through this video we will discuss about the powers and functions of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So, the Parliament of India comprises the President, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So, these are the three main bodies of the Parliament. The two houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, are not competing centers of power but are co-partners in the functioning of government. So Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they don't fight, or there's no any tension between these two bodies of the parliament for the administration's part of the country. Both of them are the co-partners of each other. They support or assist each other for functioning of the administration of the country. They enjoy equal power and status in all spheres except in financial matters. So both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they have almost equal powers except in the area of financial matter. So financial matter is mostly handled by the Lok Sabha, and its term of responsibility of Council of Ministers, which are exclusively in the domain of the Lok Sabha. Since the Lok Sabha members are bigger than the Rajya Sabha, so they quite dominate in the policy making in the parliament. So Lok Sabha quite dominate since they have the bigger number to to implement policies and to make policies. Lok Sabha handles or has the much responsibilities. Rajya Sabha has equal power with Lok Sabha in important matters like. So what are the equal powers of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha? Let us see to it. Like here the examples are given, like impeachment of the president. In this particular matter, both the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have the equal power. Removal of the vice president, in this case also both of them have the equal power. And constitutional amendments, so whatever constitutional changes has to be made in that particular area also both of them have the same power. And removal of the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court, in this matter also both of them have the equal power. Now every presidential ordinance, proclamation of the emergency and proclamation of the failure of constitutional machinery in a state must be placed before both houses of the parliament. So whenever there is a emergency in the country, so for that the announcement is made. So in both the houses this particular announcement has to be made. In case of disagreement between the two houses, a joint sitting of the two houses is conveyed. So whenever any issue is discussed in the parliament, and when after discussing there is no result of the discussion, then both the houses are called for having the joint session, where matters are decided by the majority vote. And certain issues which are not decided in orally, then the voting takes place, and those group who gets much majority, they becomes the winner, and according to that majority, the rule is implemented or rule is just rejected. Now let us go to legislative power. All bills other than the money bill can originate in any house of the parliament. So all bills except the money bill other can be originated in both the houses or in the parliament. No bill can become a law unless agreed to by both the houses. So no bill can be accepted as a law without the approval of the both the houses. If there is disagreement, the president may summon both the houses of the parliament in a joint meeting. So whenever there is a disagreement regarding any law and order, then president calls a joint session and he try to finalize the issues in the joint session. At the joint sitting, issues are decided by the majority of the members of the both the houses present and voting. Now first one, matters in the union list. The parliament has exclusive power to make laws on all the 97 subjects. So parliament has a power who can make the rules and regulations in almost 97 matters or in 97 departments, and these all 97 subjects come under the union list, including important subjects like defense, communication, foreign policy, etc. Now we have number 2, matters in the concurrent list. Along with the state legislative assembly, the parliament can make the parliament can make law on 47 subjects listed in the concurrent list. So the state legislative assembly, that means the Vidhan Sabha, has the right to make laws and orders on 47 subjects. If there is a conflict between the union parliament and the state legislature on any law in this list, the union law will prevail. So if there is a conflict or disagreement between both the central government as well as the, we call central union parliament as well as the state legislature, Vidhan Sabha, then the union law or the union parliaments, we call the majority, will be accepted and its approval will be we call functioning. Now number 3, residuary power. The parliament possesses residuary power. It means that it can make laws with respect to all those matters which are not mentioned in any of the 3 lists. So residuary power means those laws and orders which could be made by the parliament which maybe are not mentioned in 3 lists such as union list, state list and the concurrent list. So that is called the residuary power. So residuary power means these rules and regulations or laws are not included in concurrent, state and union list. So that will come under residuary power. Now number 4, matters in the state list. The parliament can legislate or make law even on subjects included in the state list, like first one, during the proclamation of an emergency. B. When the Rajya Sabha passes a resolutions by a two-third majority that the subject in the state list has assumed national importance. So dear students, we will see in other video. Next point. Now let us go to number C. When two or more states are of opinion that the parliament should legislate on a subjects given to the state list, the parliament may make an act on that subjects, but would be applicable only to the consenting state. Number 5. Ordinance. The President is empowered to promulgate an ordinance at the time when the Parliament is not in session. Ordinance means a short period of law and order which is handled by the President during the time of emergency. So whenever there is a problem in our country, then the President has the right to administrate the country, and that time we can say that is a President rule. So the administrations of the country will be tackled or handled by the President, and that particular time when whatever laws and orders are made by the President for the short period of time, that is called ordinance. It has the same effect as an act. All ordinance must be put up before both the houses. So before implementing any law in the country by the President, first of all, President has to get approval from both the houses, Rajya Sabha and we call the Lok Sabha. Ordinance can cease to operate after 6 weeks from the reassembly of Parliament unless they are approved by the houses. Now number 6. Powers during emergency. When there is a total breakdown of the constitutional machinery in a state, so when the ruling party in the state that collapse or that is removed from the state, another time also we could see in the state the President rules. So during the period of emergency, the Parliament becomes the legislature in the state concerned and assumes all powers, including the financial power and passing the state budget. Now financial power. A money bill can originate in the Lok Sabha only. So money bill can be only originated in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. After a money bill is passed by Lok Sabha, it is sent to Rajya Sabha for its recommendation, which it must make within 14 days. In financial matters, the Rajya Sabha has only an advisory role. So Rajya Sabha has no right to interfere in the matter of money bill. Neither it can make any changes, but only it can advise to the Lok Sabha to bring some changes or to implement some more things in money bill. First, the budget. The Parliament passes the Union budget containing the estimated of receipt and expenditure of the government for a financial year. So in the budget session, the Parliament talks about the Union budget, central budget, and in this budget they basically discuss about the estimate of receipt, that how much money has to be used for the present year, for whole through the year, how much money should be used for different purposes, and what will be the expenditures of the government for the different areas. The budget is presented in two parts, namely the railway budget and the general budget. Now number 2, supplementary grants. If the amount authorized for the current financial year is not sufficient, the government may make a fresh, we call the demand, known as the supplementary grant. So the budget or the money which is passed or approved by the parliament members, if that is not sufficient for whole through the year, then they add some more money, some more amount of money in that particular financial budget, and that particular adding money is called as a supplementary grant. Now number 3, vote on account. If the union budget is not passed before the beginning of the new financial year, April 1st, there would be no money bill, no money for the executive to spend. There is therefore a device known as vote of account, which authorizes the executive to draw funds from the consolidated fund until the budget is passed by the parliament. So before the financial budget has been passed for the country, before let us say the 1st of April, then in between whatever money required for the nations, for the different development work, then they can take from the consolidated fund. So consolidated fund is there from where the money can be drawn for different purposes by the central government. Before the budget passed for the whole year, they can take the money from consolidated fund, which is written here. Now number 4, salaries. The salaries and the allowances of the PMs and the MPs and the ministers are determined by the parliament. So salaries and allowances are decided of all the ministers and the parliament members in the parliament only. Now 5 number, permission for taxes. No taxes can be imposed on money spent by the government without the approval of the parliament. In matter of financial, the Lok Sabha enjoys more power than the Rajya Sabha. Money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. Once the money bill go to Rajya Sabha, they have to be sent back to Lok Sabha within 14 days. The Lok Sabha may accept or reject the recommendation of the Rajya Sabha. So regarding money bill, Lok Sabha receives money bill from Rajya Sabha just after 14 days, and if Lok Sabha finds any changes or recommendation, then it up to the Lok Sabha that has to be accepted or not accepted. The Lok Sabha decides. So dear students, today we will discuss up to this point, and in the next day, tomorrow, we will be continuing this same chapter.